Good evening, I am your host, Jack Remington, of Jack Remington Political Analyst. Today is the 1 week mark of Joe and Jill, Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill Biden. I'm going to skip the doctor part for this video. We'll talk about her in a couple other videos down the road. Joe Biden has been in office for exactly 7 days, and he signed 17 executive orders the first day, 6 of them which countermanded or reversed Donald Trump's policies from the previous 4 years. And we lost a very lively president. That's bad enough as it is. I mean, they'll have layoffs in the newsrooms just because he lost Donald Trump. I mean, he was a firebrand, and he was newsworthy. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, he will be missed. The other side won't admit they miss him, but he was good for business. So I want to make sure I get YouTube straight on this, that this is news I'm doing in education and politics. I'm allowed to make these videos, YouTube. So I woke up this morning really quick, and I got the faded screen with a bright middle box that says, "You have a strike." Took down a video you made 7 months ago. So I woke up and I appealed it, and hopefully I'll hear something positive back within 7 days. If not, that's a writing on the wall. They want me to do dog and cat videos and football videos, and I guess I'll do them. And I'll take my politics somewhere else. I'll take it to Rumble and BitChute. And that's that. I mean, I still have a path to make some money off YouTube, and I'll just do it with the football and my financial videos. And the financial videos are going to be awesome. YouTube, the monitors out there to keep turning me in. I'm getting news from CNN, so I'm reporting the news, and I'm adding to it or detracting from it and putting my political analyst opinion in there, so don't kick me off just yet. The article is titled, quote, "Here are the 30 executive orders and actions Biden signed in his first 3 days." And they have a list here, as you can see, but I don't want to go to January 22nd. I want to go to January 20th, his very first day in office, and he supposedly signed 17 of them. And out of the 17, either 5 or 6 reversed Donald Trump's policies. The very first one is immigration. There's a column that says, does it reverse previous policy? Yes. Quote, reverses the Trump administration's restrictions on U.S. entry for passport holders from 7 Muslim-majority countries. End of quote. End of summary, I should say. Wow. I hope the people understand why Donald Trump had that policy in the first place. Because out of those 7 Muslim-dominant countries, they're sneaking in terrorists. It's one of the blow-up pieces of Americans in buildings with it. They can't wait to get to Allah. There was another video, and I'm going to see if I can find it, but the guy had a good point. And at first I thought he was full of it. He put out 2 jars of candy balls. And he goes, okay, just pretend these are all the immigrants coming over from the planes and the ships and whatever. There's 5 red balls in here, and they're the terrorists. Where are they? And he turned the glasses around. It had the glass on, but you couldn't find the red balls. So he took it out and dumped them on the table, and they were bouncing everywhere. He goes, oh, here's one red one. By the time they find them, we've lost 100 Americans in the course of a couple of weeks. My personal opinion was that Donald Trump was correct doing what he did. And now Joe Biden, he goes, well, I want to reverse it and whatever, and he did it. He's got that power now. January 20th, immigration again. And the summary says, quote, undoes Trump expansion of immigration enforcement within the United States. End of quote in the summary. Now, this just came through today, so I'll make a separate video in a couple of days about this, but a judge in Texas, and he said, not so fast. He said there was a deal made between enforcement, ICE, and the executive branch and the Congress. We got to review this for 30 days, and then we'll get back to this. So until that review is done, and as far as I know, Biden hasn't done anything since, and he is a little slow to the draw. But I got to say for this country, caravans are on the way, folks. I mean, that was reported 2 weeks ago. No, that was reported before the election. January 20th, immigration again. And the summary says, and I quote, halts construction of the border wall by terminating the national emergency declaration used to fund it. End of quote in the summary. So he stopped building the wall. Now, why would you do that? Why would you stop building the wall? Why not finish it and get it over with? Oh, they want the people to come over to the country. I forgot. They want open borders. Why? They see votes. They see voters. We'll give you amnesty for your parents and your grandparents and your extended 500 people family. And, if you vote for us, and that's what they're going to do. And it's going to permanently change the demographic time bomb in this country. Never be another Republican president ever again. And that's what Donald Trump was bitching about, and he was right. But we go on down to January 22nd. The economy, and I quote, restores collective bargaining power and worker protections for the federal workers and lays the foundation for a $15 minimum wage. What that meant was that Donald Trump made it easier for big brass people, the managers of these civil servants and military and everything else. easier to fire these clowns. I was civil service for 18 and a half years. Where I was at, it was a little different. We had a specialized mission, a top secret mission, vaccines for the soldiers, and it was worldwide. Our implementation where we had to send U.S. troops and whatever diseases they would encounter, like Ebola in Africa and Lassa fever in Africa, parts of the Congo. And here in the United States, we worked on RSMV, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Coxiella burnetii, which is Q fever, in case they had to go to Western Canada and Yukon Territory. A lot of mosquitoes, and they get bit, they get Q fever. Long story short, there were some clowns in civil service that need to be gotten rid of. So he's going to bring back the collective bargaining protections for the federal workers. It's not that big of a loss, but the $15 minimum wage is a separate issue. That's one of the only things I disagree with the late, great Walter E. Williams and Dr. Thomas Sowell, two great black economists of this country, and the philosophers and teachers, and I'm big followers of both of them. And other economists kind of agree that they're kind of not so good on the minimum wage. But I'm here to tell you that the minimum wage is a necessary evil, because I was in the casino business for 38 years, and almost all that was full-time work. And when I wasn't working, I was gambling in the casinos. In my Vegas days, I'm a retired NFL handicapper. I'm here to tell you, I've had those guys talk to each other while we had to be quiet as a dealer. They say, if I could get away with it, I'd pay them only $1 an hour. I mean, the minimum wage is a necessary evil in this country. But the problem is, if they make it a federal minimum wage, and it's going to hurt states like Wyoming, my second state, Wyoming, South Dakota, even North Dakota to a degree. It's going to hurt Minnesota. It's going to hurt Iowa. It's going to hurt Arkansas. And by the way, I'm rooting for Sarah Huckabee to run for governor. She made her announcement today. She's going to run for governor. I hope she wins. Possibly even Oklahoma, although there's parts of Oklahoma that does have big wages with the oil fields. But the other thing, other service sectors, the minimum wages in some of these states, Bernie Sanders, Vermont, the minimum wage is like $10.75 an hour. Okay, you make them pay $15. You make Oklahoma, Wyoming, Minnesota, Vermont, Maine. You make them pay $15 an hour. It's going to put a lot of the smaller businesses out of business, because they just can't make that money back. Their payrolls will be more than what they're bringing in. I mean, I get it. You may think, well, they should be able to afford from $10 an hour to $15 an hour. Well, okay, so I want you to hear me out. That extra $5 an hour for 8 hours, that's $40 extra dollars. What if you don't get the 40 to cover that additional payroll? What if the amount of units that you're selling for, you got 3 employees are now making, now you got to come up with $120 for 3 people. If you got 3 people with this raise like that, and you might only get 1 customer that day, it might be a slow day. Whereas if it's $10 an hour, you could tread water and wait for the weekend or whatever, provided we're all opening back up. They needed to think this through a little bit more, pushing this $15 minimum wage. But I don't want to push back too much, because they're going to have to. I want to see some hard data on how this is really going to work with raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. In California, where I'm at, it's either 14 or 15 already. Seattle was 16. There's some places that have already done. Denver, Colorado might be 14 or 15. New York City, I think it's 16. So there are some places already had little districts where they can afford to do that, and they've done that. I'm not so sure making it a nationwide thing. I mean, Montana is going to hurt Montana too, possibly Idaho. I mean, I see more red states going to be hurt by this. Not because I'm not defending the red states because they're red. Some of the blues, Illinois, is going to hurt Illinois, and Illinois got worse financial troubles per capita and on scales, evenly scaled basis than California. When we talk about pension liability, Illinois is really hurting. I mean, Illinois, they're really, really hurt. New York, pockets of wealth, and it says true, but there's other in the middle of the state. Not so much. I think Joe Biden, he needed his advisors to walk this thing through a little better. But they put him in office. He's got the position. And like I said in the other video, I made an open statement to Jill Biden, to Mrs. Jill Biden. And I said, take care of your husband, because we need him to succeed. Watch out for Kamala Harris. Watch out for Nancy Pelosi. Watch out for the snakes and swamps in D.C., because they're going to get your husband too if he shows any sign of weakness. I want Joe Biden to succeed. I don't want to talk about what he didn't do. That's not material right now. What's material is we need him to succeed. Anyone that covers that Oval Office is sitting, got his ass in that chair. We need him to put his brain on and do good for the country. Don't root against that guy because he's on the other side. That is so counterproductive. It's a big turn off. We need to show the example of what we need to do in this country to get it to turn back around. I love Donald Trump, but you know what? And I'm on board with Make America Great Again, but we don't really need him per se. He got the ball rolling, and I love his movement. I'm going to vote for him again if he runs 2024, no matter what. But it's up to us to make America great again. The environment, yes, it's another reversal. And the summary says, and I quote, rejoins the Paris Climate Accord, a process that will take 30 days. End of quote in the summary. Really? What do you think China and Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, United Arab Emirates, Israel, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, even Japan, what are they going to tell us when you want to join this Paris Climate Accord? You got to cut your emissions down. I already know what China and Pakistan is going to say, and India is going to say. They're going to say, we got a thumb and 4 fingers. Forget the thumb. Pick the finger that's suited for you. Okay. The United States is the leader and has been a leader for 60-some years in this world for cutting down pollution. And this climate change hoax, this climate change mania, the climate is always changing, folks. It's the pollution that's making the ingredient to be a political hot potato. Okay. And we've cut down a lot of pollution. The company I'm investing in, I keep pushing in my financial videos, Occidental Petroleum, they're going to be the leader in this CO2 carbon emission capture. They can put it underground and they can just get it in big vaults and they can redo it. I don't even understand how it works, but right now I'm on board. This Paris Climate Accord, we're going to wind up footing the bill. I can already see it coming. That's why Donald Trump got out. Why are we doing all the work and you're still not shutting down your factories and cleaning up, putting filters in your stack houses, smoke houses? And Xi Jinping said, no, we're not slowing nothing down. That was when we first took over in office, and I remember that in 2017. We'll talk more about the Paris Climate Accord. Let's see, January 20th, the environment again. Quote, cancels the Keystone XL pipeline and directs agencies to review and reverse more than 100 Trump actions on the environment. End of quote in the summary. Good job, Joe Biden. You just knocked out 100,000 jobs overnight. And then I don't know how many jobs in Canada you did this to, probably 30,000. So that's why I've seen this thing on Facebook. Why the Canadians are really mad at you now. People need their jobs, Joe Biden. Now, if you want to live like AOC and Ryan Presley in Washington and Tlaib and from Palestine, and she's the person in Michigan and this Ilhan Omar, you want to live like those people. They live in the desert and in the camel burgers. You want to do that? You want to just pee in a hole 33 feet from your house? No sewage system, no electricity, no refrigerator, no car, no planes, no trains, no nothing. You want to live like that? Then you go do that. But the rest of America, we like our energy. We like our modern conveniences. We like the inventions that Thomas Edison with the light bulb and the electricity. We like that. So you people need to think this through. Okay, and you're making the political hotball, this Green New Deal. It's going to shut the whole world down. And here's what AOC never tells you, never discusses. You can make your house better efficient. You can do all these things that she says, in part in this country, but the air doesn't stay glued to the continent. The air keeps moving around all throughout the world. This canceling the Keystone XL pipeline, and you need to save this video because gas is going to go to $8 a gallon. You save this video. The Shell station, I drive by it every day off Telephone Road to get to the highway, to go to 101 to get to my W-2 job in Santa Barbara. My W-2 job that I keep separate from YouTube, and I said that Shell station has gone up 6 times since the election. First it was $2.95, then it was $3.03, then $3.10, then $3.15, now it's up to $3.40. It's gas. That started the day of the election, November 3rd. I don't need to because I have a graph here you can take a look at. The prices throughout the country, the averages of the gas has been going up since the election day. This is a bad deal. It's going to get us redependent on OPEC again. And it's going to be $8 a gallon this time. You watch. Instead of the $5 a gallon under Obama, it's going to be $8 a gallon under this clown here, this joke Biden. I'm angry. January 20th, equity. Another reversal? Yes. Rescinds the Trump administration's 1776 commission, directs agencies to review their actions to ensure racial equity. End of quote in the summary. Are you really going to make me do this? Okay, because they have this thing now, and I know it happened to civil servants because my coworkers told me this, that they shame people for the racial injustice in this country as if they did it. Okay, and Donald Trump fought back. He goes, well, no, this is 1776 Republican constitutionalist classes, and we're all created equal. The rights are endowed by our Creator, and everybody is equal. That's not good enough for these people. And here, Joe Biden, he reversed it. Why did he reverse it? To keep the constituents happy, keep the Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and these clowns happy. That's why he did it. Okay, Joe Biden, you got to be better than this, man. January 20th, the census. This is the one that really burned me up. Yes, there's no reversal of Donald John Trump's policies, requires non-citizens to be included in the census and apportionment of congressional representatives. End of quote in the summary. So why be a citizen? Why should we be a citizen anymore? They have just as much, if not more, rights than we do. They can get caught committing a crime. They get catch and release. They get a sanctuary city. And I'm not going to go through all the things that I've seen in the last 10 years. If I had known what I know now about California, how they are, and been a sanctuary state and everything, the first sanctuary state and sanctuary cities everywhere, I wouldn't have come out here. I'd have stayed around. But Maryland was a second sanctuary state. And they've had all kinds of problems with MS-13 people and kidnappings and everything else. This can't be happening, Joe Biden. You need to get a hold of this, and you need to own this now. You wanted the job, now you do the job. Only you could do. And Barack Obama was quoted on a hot mic by saying, and I'm going to quote, I can't use the curse word, don't underestimate Joe Biden's ability to blank things up, end of quote. I believe that. I believe Barack Obama actually said that because he was his boss for 8 years. Oh, January 20th, coronavirus stops the United States withdrawal from the World Health Organization by Dr. Anthony Fauci becoming the head of the delegation to the World Health Organization. Good job, Joe Biden. You just made the grade. I just cannot believe that you fell for this. So I'm going to conclude this video. I'll be cutting a lot of it. I'll see 28 minutes on here. I got to get going. I got to go to my W-2 job. This is a farce. This can't be happening. We need Joe Biden to succeed. I want Joe Biden to succeed. I'm going to make fun of him. I'm going to keep calling him Joe Biden, Joke and Jill show. I'm going to do that once a week. I'm openly contradicting myself because I want the man to succeed, to wake up and just think, you know what? I'm here now. I need to snap out of it. I need to do the job. I need to do the job. If he can just get that in his brain, if his wife can start drilling into I guarantee my wife would do that to me. She'd say, you know what, you got the job. You keep bitching about everybody else. Now you do the GD job. That's what she would say, and she'd be right. But you can still be the greatest country in the world. You know, just don't bend over to China. You know, do what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump stood up to him. You know, stand up to these people. Come on, man. You know the thing. If you don't root for Joe Biden, you ain't American. Something like that. Well, anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. I'll have more updates in a couple of days about what happened with this judge in Texas. So things aren't dire yet. I am a little concerned that he goes, we're leading to dark times. I really don't think that's a good thing for a president of any time to say that. Even Barack Obama didn't do that. Always a great day to be American. Thank you.